Hello everybody, this is Lara from Pure Elliott Wave with your free daily update for Bitcoin. Bitcoin only in this video because I've got quite a lot I want to get through in this video. I'll separate Ethereum and XRP out. I'll post that up later on the YouTube channel as its own separate video. I'm going to cover some technical evidence today that I think shows that Bitcoin may have found a long-term sustained low for the 11th of September 2023. I think it's quite likely that we will not see prices below 24,919.28 for many years. I expect Bitcoin may be in the earliest days of the next bullish run up to new all-time highs, and let's go through why. I'm going to put a link in the description box below to a video where I look at previous sustained lows for Bitcoin, and I go through this methodical approach using these indicators to identify what commonalities can we look for in previous lows that have been sustained, and so what can we know to look for future lows to try and identify them as early as we can. These are the lows I look at that I just showed you in that table. The first one, important, November 2011. This was a 94% reduction in market value, so an absolutely massive crash from high to low, that is. I didn't do it high to close. It's just easier to calculate high to low. Anyway, it's an absolutely huge crash. It was a very quick bear market, but absolutely massive. So I look at this low and see what is the technical evidence we can see that that low would be sustained, and it has been sustained to this day. Just $1.99. Bitcoin never got back down to those lows. The next big bear market, January 2014, the low, a 93% reduction. The next one, a year-long bear market from December 2017 to November 2018, an 84% reduction in market value, 3,191.3. Those prices have never been seen again to this day. November 2022, now we can't have real confidence that this low is going to be sustained, but I'm going to show you some technical evidence that tells me that it is very likely to be a long-term sustained low. I don't expect Bitcoin to move below 15,599.05. We can't really have full confidence in that until we see a higher high. And the bigger picture, remember, Bitcoin has a series of higher highs and higher lows throughout its price history. That's the basic definition of an upward trend. In order for that basic definition to be breached, we would really need to see a lower low below November 2018, or maybe this one here, March 2020. If you want to be a little bit more risk tolerant. But I would say November 2018, that would be the big low you'd want to have taken out in order to say that the market is completely crashing. Until that happens, the series of higher lows and higher highs remains intact. It's in an upward trend for the bigger picture. So let's have a look at the low just a couple of days ago and go through this methodical approach to see what technical evidence there may be that it too could be sustained. The first thing I want to look at is this angle of slope of the bear market. Sometimes bear markets can end with selling climaxes, and range and slope increases at the end as they form V bottoms. It hasn't in this case. The slope it's quite sharp toward the end of the bear market, but then it essentially flattens off with a little bit of a spike on the final downward day. So no, there was a steady decline, more shallow at the end with that final day spike. So no spike in slope or increase in slope at the end. For November 2022, we do see that. Did ATR as a measure of volatility show an increase in volatility, a spike at the end of the bear market? No, it showed an increase toward the end, but then at the end, it just flattened off. A small spike at the end, but overall, it was essentially flat. So we saw an increase near the end, and then it was flat at the end. For November 2022, also a steady decline to the low. Is there a bullish candlestick reversal pattern at the low? Yes, there is. In yesterday's video, I said to watch the close of the 12th of September very carefully. It's closed at 25,841.7, which is just above the open of the previous session. 11th of September opened at 25,833.70. So the 12th of September is correctly now a bullish engulfing candlestick pattern. That is fantastic to see. And impressively, it has push from volume. So yes, there's a bullish reversal pattern and it has push from volume. We also see that in November 2022. We don't see it at all these sustained lows. November 2011 didn't have that, but January 2014 did, November 2018 did, November 2022, and now September 2023. Looking at volume at the low, which is this volume bar here, do we see a volume spike? Yes, we do. Now, overall volume is declining as price moved down to the low, but we did see a little spike in volume at the low. So yes, there was a small spike in volume at the end. Did ADX reach extreme for the bear market? Yes, it did. It did reach above both the DX lines, not at the end, but toward the end. So yes, ADX did tell us the downward trend reached extreme, but not very extreme. And it doesn't commonly do that. For 2011 it didn't. 2014 it didn't, 2018 it didn't. It has, however, in November 2022 and September 2023. Did RSI reach extreme? Yes, on the daily time frame it did reach fairly deeply oversold, and it exhibits double bullish divergence. So yes, RSI reached extreme, and yes, there was double bullish divergence. We don't always see that. We didn't see that in 2011, 2014, 2018. We did see it in 2022, and we see it again now in September 2023. Did money flow reach extreme on the daily time frame? Yes, it did reach oversold, and it exhibits single bullish divergence. And I'm going to count this point here now because this has now formed a pivot low. So now I will identify if there is divergence, and yes, there is. So yes, money flow reached extreme and exhibits bullish divergence. It didn't do that in 2011, 2014, 2018. It did in 2022, and it has again in September 2023. So I have got 9 conditions here I'm looking for to be met. For November 2011, only one of those 9 conditions were met, and yet that low has been sustained. Those prices were never seen again for Bitcoin. January 2014 was a much stronger low, a little easier to identify possibly, 4 out of 9. November 2018, this was actually a really hard one. Only 2 out of 9 conditions were met. But November 2022, we see 7 out of those 9 conditions met, and again, September 2023, we now have 7 out of those 9 conditions met. And so for those reasons, I think there is a reasonable technical evidence to now suggest that this low for September 11, 2023 is highly likely to be sustained for the long term, and that Bitcoin is in the earliest days of the next bullish run to new all-time highs. Now, what would I want to see in order to have further confidence in that view and to stop being so... Well, I'm not sitting on the fence. I'm saying I think it's highly likely this low is going to be sustained. But what can we see to have further confidence in that view? Here's the bear market, a series of lower highs and lower lows. Here is the last lower high within that series, 24,14556 for the 29th of August. I need to see a new high above that point, any amount at any time frame. That would break the series of lower highs and lower lows, the basic definition of a bear market. And so that would tell us it's highly likely there's been a trend change. That's the first thing I would really like to see for further confidence in this call. And the other thing I'd like to see is this channel breached by a full daily candlestick of upward movement, a green candlestick above and not touching this trend line. That would give me further confidence that this low is likely to remain intact. This is a very conservative resistance line. It contains all of the upward movement of the bear market. The lower copy doesn't contain all of the lower movement. In fact, maybe I could just pull this down a little bit here, and now the whole of this bearish movement is contained. So if this channel is breached by upward movement, very simple technique, it's telling us the low is likely to be intact, because it tells us there's likely to have been a trend change. Now, don't expect price to move in a straight line. Along the way up, look out for resistance at this trend line. Before that, maybe resistance at 27,400. We may see price react down from this line and then break through and curve down to back test support before it moves up and away. There's quite strong resistance just below 29,000, so I'd expect a pullback or consolidation about there before a breakthrough, and then next resistance above 31,000. That's it from me. Please like, subscribe and comment. All of your engagement really does help my little YouTube channel grow. And the reason why you should subscribe to this channel is I'm going to be giving you free daily updates for Bitcoin and Ethereum and XRP 5 days a week, Monday to Friday. I've got 15 years of experience using technical analysis. My specialty is Elliott Wave, but I don't give you Elliott Wave for Bitcoin. That's a subscription on my website. But I do give you Elliott Wave for Ethereum and XRP. I'm I've also been a chartered market technician now for over a decade. So you're getting my experience and professional qualifications to give you confidence that I know what I'm doing, and you're getting it for free, and you're getting it 5 days a week for free. So I think that's a pretty good deal and a really good idea to subscribe so you don't miss anything. I've got a lot of skin in this game. I've invested in these markets myself, so I'm also doing this analysis for my own investing purposes. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your engagement, and I'm really enjoying these daily updates for you.